So it's very important as mediums to have empathy, because if you do not have empathy, empathy is the ability to feel, to sense, to feel somebody else's emotions. It is also part, I always classify empathy as clairsentience, because it's like the sensing, the feeling, a deep connection to others. It's like you can spiritually tap in. So I'm going to read you to what it says here. It says the power of empathy. Being a good medium requires a strong sense of empathy, which comes from your ability to sense, like I said, and feel the emotions of a spirit, as well as those living here in the living. So it's not like when you're doing mediumship work and you are channeling messages from spirit, it's not just about the living person that is going to be that's grieving, or that is going through some very difficult moments and is trying to get spiritual insight, or messages from their loved ones that have passed on. It's also about you as a medium tapping into the love that they had for that the past loved ones had for the living people that are still left behind, that are coming to you for messages. So it's very, very important to know the power of empathy. So it says every medium is equipped with a natural heightened sense of empathic awareness. It can be an overwhelming feeling, and if it's left ungrounded, it can result in being overly tired, emotional, or even anxious. Grounded empathic mediums allow their emotional heart center awareness to be used as a tool for guiding the session between themselves, the sitter, and spirit. So being an empath means you feel the other people's emotions as your own, but the unique ability also enables you to be aware of another's energy or thoughts, feelings, and events. So like people are always like, Ray, how do you know, like, how did you know what my grandfather was saying, or how did you know what my child was saying to me, that they're in spirit world? But how does that work? It's because they were human at one time, and even though they're not human, they're still an energy, and energy does carry emotions with it. It's not always happy emotions. It can variate, and it can fluctuate, and it can vary from every spirit is the same. I've had spirits that don't want to speak to their loved one, and their loved one comes to me with open arms wanting to get a message. That's not going to always happen, because again, they may not be ready for it, and it may not be time for them to receive that message. It says an easy technique for empathic grounding is to amplify the awareness of your auric energy, so you can expand it from your body to form a protective field. If you're feeling overextended empathically, use deep breathing techniques to slow down your vibrational energy and reground yourself. So like picturing a white light all around you, a gold light, that is protecting, like creating a bubble of light and protecting yourself and creating a safe space so that spirit can come into your auric field and download and get, so that you can download and have like an exchange of communication on the auric level of yourself. Okay. Other ways to practice healthy empathic awareness is to practice meditation, yoga, and other energy healing modalities. Try to keep your overall spiritual energy grounded. So like grounding, if you are erratic, if you've had a bad day, you're pissed off, you are, you're spitting nails, you're not in the place to read anyone or to do a mediumship reading at all. You have to be very calm and grounded. Grounding is the best thing to do. I've had cases where I've had a rough day, I don't feel like very good, and I have had a reading booked, and I've had to reschedule that or tell the client, the sitter, that unfortunately I cannot do it because I'm not feeling my best. And if you're not feeling your best, you should not be doing any kind of mediumship readings, okay, or giving messages from spirit. The psychic touch. So people use their psychic abilities in addition to their mediumship abilities. It goes in hand. Okay, so like when you touch objects, sometimes you can, if let's say you were handed your grandmother's ring and you wear it, but when you wear it, you feel her presence, but when you take it off, you don't. That's kind of like the thing. Energy is everywhere. You radiate energy, leaving traces of your presence everywhere. Everything that you touch, it is going to be left with your energy imprint. It's very specific. Now, this is not what, I'm not reading anything off the card. I'm telling you what really it is. Psychic touch is, it deals with your own energy. When you touch an object, When you put on a piece of clothing, an article of clothing, it is your energy that is tied to that. So remember, other people can feel your energy, and if you haven't cleansed something, if you haven't washed it, washing clothes is important to like cleanse your energy off of it. When we wash clothes, we are stripping that article of clothing from your energy, because water is a purification tool or conduit. Okay, when you touch something like a jewelry and you don't wash it and you just keep it there and somebody else puts it on, or you let, like, let's say your sister borrows something that you wore previously, that your energy is still imprinted. And if she's having a bad day or she's extremely psychic, whatnot, it's very possible that you could be getting picking up on hers, and you could actually be psychically linked to that person. So it says the wonderful and easy technique, let's see here. Psychometry is the practice of using items infused with someone's energy, enabling you to gain past, present information about that individual. Items like jewelry, like I said, clothing, or even a chair can have a strong presence of someone's energy. Okay, it's a bit of a psychic imprint, and this is a wonderful and easy technique to practice when you are developing your psychic and mediumship skills. To start, sit with someone and ask to hold an item of importance that belong to the person's loved one in spirit. Open your awareness and allow your consciousness to connect with the item, and then feel if the spirit of the loved one, who own the item, will make their presence known. Sometimes spirit will come through when someone else is holding their object. You know, it could be Gertrude. Gertrude had a big affinity for a brooch, and you're wearing her brooch, and it got sold in a real estate deal, right? Or an estate sell. And now you're wearing her brooch, and she don't like you wearing her brooch or her thing. She's going to come forward, right? When working with spirit, it is important to bring in evidence that can be validated to confirm the messages you give. So when you hold the item, see if you can sense the relationship of the spirit to the sitter, which is the sitter is the person that you're reading. Perhaps you can sense what they like to do for a hobby or their career, how their attitude was. I'm not reading off the card, I'm telling you. Notice any physical details about the spirit that may come forward. Reach out to the spirit and see if you can connect with a name that's significant. When practicing with mediumship, don't be afraid to share every little detail of what you're receiving. Okay, so I want to be realistic and stop right here. When you are touching and doing psychometry, you're not going to always get evidential information to the T. It may not even make sense to the sitter. Okay, those are unrealistic expectations and pressure to put on yourself if you are doing a mediumship reading. It's so important that you don't put that pressure on yourself. You're not going to always be accurate. No medium is, no psychic is. You're not going to always have a specific name coming through. It may be other things like places that they like to go, certain foods, cologne, smells, colors, birthdays, years, images, depending on how developed your gift is. So don't think that it's immediately like if you start trying to do psychometry and you're going to just hold someone's past loved one's item in your hand and you're going to get everything right then and there, and then you psych yourself out because you feel like you're guessing. Don't guess, just go with what you feel. I think that's the biggest mistake and misconception in mediumship, which I'm glad that these cards came in because it helps me kind of create a curriculum to teach you guys. But the biggest mistake that I can tell you that you can make and psych yourself out and actually sever that connection with spirit is to psych yourself out by thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be wrong. If you have that replaying in the back of your mind, you're not ready. You're not ready to do readings for someone, or you may not just be ready that day. Okay, you need to be very confident when you're going into a session or when you're practicing with someone, and let them know, everything may not make sense right then and there, but eventually it will come to them. So again, this is very, very important information that I wanted to share with you today. We'll be doing more as I go in the series of mediumship. I'm going to be providing you with much more information so that way you can practice and practice developing your mediumship abilities through psychic touch, which is psychometry, and then also through meditation and grounding and improving your empathic abilities. All right, guys, so I love you so much. Until the next one. All right, bye.